Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube video. In this video, I want to demonstrate and give a basic introduction or tutorial about terrain on Roblox. The basics and some useful details when it comes to sculpting terrain within your experience. And to get started, we open up the editor here. This is the terrain editor. And you'll notice on the top we have three tabs: Create, Region, and Edit. So let's start with Create. What you see here is a block that is contained within this box here, and I generated it with the Create tool, right? I put in the parameters, I checked all these, I added water, plains, dunes, marsh, hills, etc. And the program actually generated this whole thing very quickly. And it's somewhat randomized, but it also kind of makes sense, right? You have a body of water, you have mountains with snow on top, and you'll notice it has a certain thickness. All these things that you want to maybe generate, you can change right here in the Create tool. And it's very useful if you want to get a head start on sculpting. It saves some time and it gives you something to work with, right? And you can keep trying over and over again if it doesn't really come out the way you want it to, or on a more advanced note, you can change it or edit it yourself, and that's sculpting. Let's move on to the region tool. Okay, we have a bunch of different things we can work with. So number one, you can start off with select. Basically, you create a box here, and you can kind of include as much terrain as you want within it. And then you have these different tools or functions here. Number one, for example, you have move, so you can move that selection. You can rotate it. It's pretty straightforward. There are a lot of things you can do, right? So that is the region tool. So it's a matter of working with regions that you select, right, with this box, right? But the most detail you can really get with sculpting, where it really kind of starts to get fun and you can personalize it, is with the Edit tab. You have all these different tools which give you this special tool. In this case, it's in the shape of a sphere, but it tells you this sphere is where the magic happens, right? So for example, I have add, so you can see wherever the sphere is, we add. In this case, it's where we have grass selected. We add grass, you see that? And you can keep going and changing it as much as you'd like. For example, we have the paint tool, which is really useful. You're not really adding terrain, but instead you're painting the existing terrain, right? You're painting it, you're not adding it, so it gives you a little bit of a more control, right? Depending on what it is you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. And of course, this sphere, Roblox gives you a few options. You can use a cube, so let me go ahead and add, let's see, in the shape of a cube, and you can see terrain in the shape of a cube. Isn't that pretty cool? Alright, let's see. There are other parameters. You can change, for example, with the cube, you can change the base size. You can also change the height, so it can be very tall. Depending on what it is you're trying to accomplish, you can do pretty cool things. And let's move on to the different materials that you can possibly work with. For example, here's asphalt. Okay, you're going to generate exactly that. Cracked lava. Let's go over here and add a little bit of cracked lava. Look at that. All right, one thing that's important to note, all right, let's go back to our painting tool. One thing that's important to note is that if you're going to work with, for example, ice, okay, you want to consider a few things, like number one, why is there ice here in the middle of a bunch of grass? You know, why did ice form right there? You might want to be able to have the world make a little bit of sense, but then again, this is your world. You can have a cube of asphalt if you want, and no one can really judge you for that, right? This is your world. But my point is here that if you're going to use ice, for example, I've noticed that depending on what material you use, the avatars, the people that play, the models, the creatures, they interact with it a little bit different. So for example, the snow here, or the ice, is going to be slippery, so it's going to be harder to drive a vehicle over it as opposed to the grass. And of course with water, you're just going to go right in, right? It's again, Roblox really tries to create lifelike physics and model their physics designs based on real life, so to speak. Okay, another important aspect that's useful um, for sculpting terrain is the plane lock. Okay, so now I'm gonna activate it to auto, and you can see this plane, right? So you can see that's kind of facing upwards. The plane is going up. So if I wanted to, let's say add. Let's go back to the sphere, lower it a little bit, and there's that plane again. If I wanted to add some grass, look at what happens. The terrain is locked onto the plane. You notice that, right? So this is the plane that was used, and depending on the viewpoint of your camera, the plane kind of changes if it's set to automatic, where manual gives you a little bit more control of where you set the plane, right? So for example, if you wanted to maybe plug up this hole here, you could just get that plane going. Very simple, right? Very simple process to create that terrain and sculpt the world the way you want it to look. Alright, let's see. Another important thing that sometimes helps, sometimes does not, it really depends on what you're trying to accomplish, or the visibility and things like that, is if you come up here to View and you select the wireframe editing. What happens here, let me exit that, is that the terrain now, you can see the polygons that are involved. So you can see each one of these triangles is a polygon that the terrain adheres to. So for example, if we look at this patch of ice, it has maybe 500 polygons. This is something to consider when creating a world, is that each polygon requires storage or strain on the processor to generate. So if you're trying to minimize the amount of space that a world uses, you might want to consider, well, how many polygons is my world made up of? Do I need to have all of these? For example, the below ground aspects with the caves, and do you want that or do you not? So anything that's not entirely necessary, you might want to consider removing so that the game functions smoother and you can then add more things that do matter to you and count, right? The world can become bigger because you remove things that are not entirely necessary. So let's go back to the standard view here. And let's see, we have a few extra tools. I want to show you the grow tool. Let's just do something like sandstone. Let's say I want to kind of make this sandstone mountain up here a little bit more natural. This is the grow tool, and look what happens within the sphere. Okay, the terrain grows within the sphere. Okay, you can grow the size of the sphere, and obviously the terrain, the power you have changes, right? Of course, the size of the tool affects how smoothly it runs. In this case, you can see how it's a little choppy, right, because of how big the sphere is. Whereas if it's smaller, you can do finer details, and you can see how smoothly it happens, right? This is something very important to consider when sculpting a world. What size tool do you need? What shape tool do you need? What is it that you're trying to accomplish? All these things, these minute details really add to how effectively you can develop, how much time you use straight on your computer, and all these things. And let's see. So obviously the opposite of growth will be erosion. So you can see if you want to remove some parts, you think it's too big, no big deal. You can erode these things and try, I guess, make it look natural or make it look unnatural, whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. So I give you a basic rundown. You have adding, subtraction, this delete stuff, growth, erosion, these go hand in hand. You have the smooth tool, so it's kind of self-explanatory. It smooths out the terrain. You can see what happens here depending on what you're trying to accomplish. Again, the size of the tool impacts the radius or the impact here of what you do. And we have the flatten tool, comes with a plane. Paint is one of my favorites. It's very, very fun to use sometimes. It's very therapeutic for me just to go around and paint, kind of feel like a real-life painter, right? You go on a canvas. This is kind of the same thing. It's just on a computer, 3 dimensions, things like that, right? Pretty cool, huh? And so we have these different tools that you can use to create the world you want to create. I encourage you guys to give it a try. I encourage you guys to explore and have fun with it. That's the thing. Have fun and make whatever you want to make. There are no limits, and well, within reason. There are always limits, computers, whatever, but they're getting better. I appreciate you guys watching. If you would, please subscribe to my channel. And again, I would love it if you would share some of your creations or your ideas in the comments, and give it a like if you found this informative. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.